If you're over 60 and you're sailing on a cruise this year, there are 17 things you should never do inside your cabin. Some of them are small habits that will cost you sleep, some will cost you money, and a few, and I'm being completely honest with you here, could genuinely cost you your health or your trip. I've sailed over 40 cruises in my 60s, and I've made almost every single one of these mistakes myself. So today I'm going to walk you through all 17, starting with the one I think is the most dangerous and ending with one that genuinely shocked me when I learned about it last year. Hi there, I'm Margaret from Senior Cruising. Welcome back to the channel. I've been sailing for almost 25 years now, and in the last decade especially, since crossing into my 60s, I've learned that cruising looks very different at our age than it did in our 40s. Cabin habits are a huge part of that. If you find this helpful, and I think at least 3 of these are going to surprise you, please tap that thumbs up before we get started. It really does help the channel. And subscribe if you haven't already. Let's dive in. Number 1. Don't unpack completely on arrival. I know. The standard advice everywhere is unpack everything immediately. And for younger cruisers, that's fine. For us, it's not. Here's why. You arrive at your cabin exhausted from travel. You're dehydrated. Your blood sugar is probably off. And you start lifting suitcases onto beds and bending into closets. That's the number 1 cause of cabin-related injuries for cruisers over 60. Not slipping in the bathroom. Unpacking too aggressively on day 1. What I do now, I unpack only the essentials on arrival. Medications, sleepwear, toiletries, 1 outfit for dinner. Everything else waits until the next morning when I'm rested. Takes me about 12 minutes. Saves me from waking up at 3 a.m. with a strained back. And honestly, here's the bigger lesson. Day 1 of a cruise is not the day to prove anything to yourself. It's not the day to be efficient. It's the day to settle in, drink water, eat a small meal, and rest. The cruise lasts 7 nights, or 10, or 14. You have time. Number 2, never walk barefoot in the cabin. This one I learned the hard way on a Royal Caribbean Anthem sailing 2 years ago. Cabin floors are cleaned, yes, but they're cleaned with industrial chemicals that can be slick when wet. And the bathroom thresholds, those little raised lips at the bathroom door, are a tripping hazard at night when you're half asleep going to the bathroom. Bring rubber-soled slippers. Wear them from the moment you step into the cabin until the moment you leave for dinner. Non-negotiable. The cheap $10 pair from the drugstore will do. You don't need anything fancy. What you need is grip. Number 3. Don't store your medications in the bathroom. This is the one I see people get wrong constantly. The bathroom on a cruise ship is the worst possible place for medication. Heat from the shower, humidity, condensation, all of it degrades pharmaceuticals faster than you'd believe. I keep all my medications in the cabin safe or in a drawer at the desk. Never in the bathroom. Never on the bathroom counter. Number 4. Never leave your balcony door open overnight. If you do have a balcony, and I've made a whole separate video about why I don't book them anymore, never sleep with the door cracked open. Cruise ships are pressurized. Leaving a balcony door open while the cabin door is closed creates a pressure differential that can slam doors hard enough to startle you awake or, in rare cases, injure a hand or finger. It also lets in salt air all night, which corrodes any electronics you've left out, including your CPAP machine if you use one. I learned this the hard way when my husband's CPAP started making a strange humming sound on day 3 of a Caribbean cruise. Salt damage. Cost us $400 to repair when we got home. Number 5. Don't use the in-room coffee maker for drinking water. Here's something most cruisers don't know. The in-room coffee makers on most ships use a separate water reservoir that's almost never cleaned between sailings. I know this because I asked a cabin steward directly on a Holland America cruise last year. If you want hot water for tea or oatmeal in your cabin, request a thermos of boiled water from room service. It's free on most lines. The coffee maker, only for the coffee it was designed for, and even then I'd think twice. And while we're on the topic, the cabin glassware. The water glasses by the bathroom sink. Run them under hot water for a minute before using them. They get a quick wipe between sailings, not a real wash. Just a tip. Number 6. Never ignore the safe. I'm always surprised by how many cruisers over 60 don't use the in-room safe, either because they find the keypad confusing or because they think the cabin lock is enough. It's not. Cabin attendants have master access. Maintenance has access. And while the overwhelming majority are wonderful, honest people, I have never in 25 years had anything stolen. The safe exists for a reason. Use it for your passport, your second credit card, your spare cash, your jewelry. If the keypad confuses you, ask the steward to show you on day 1. They're happy to. Before I go on, let me know in the comments which of these you've actually done before. I'm betting most of you have done at least 3. I've done 5. We're all human. Number 7. Don't drink the tap water without thinking. Now, I want to be careful here because I've heard wildly contradictory things over the years. The cruise lines will tell you the water is perfectly safe, and in most cases on most major ships that's true. The water is desalinated, filtered, and tested constantly. But here's the thing. The pipes inside older ships, particularly cabins on ships over 15 years old, can have buildup that affects taste and occasionally affects sensitive stomachs. Personally, I drink the bottled water for the first day or 2 of any cruise on an older ship, then switch to tap once my system has adjusted. I'm not telling you the water is dangerous. I'm telling you that older bodies adjust slower, and that's worth knowing. Number 8. Never use the hairdryer provided. Honestly, this one I feel strongly about. The cabin hairdryers on almost every cruise line I've sailed, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Princess, Norwegian, are weak, low wattage, and require you to hold a button down continuously. For older arms and shoulders, this is genuinely painful and tiring. Bring your own travel hairdryer, the little fold-up kind. Weighs nothing, saves your shoulders. I cannot stress this enough. Number 9. Don't sleep with your phone charging on the nightstand. This one might sound paranoid, but bear with me. Cruise ship electrical systems are different from what we're used to at home. Voltage fluctuations are more common, especially in older ships and during certain port maneuvers. I had a phone charger short out on a Norwegian getaway sailing in 2022. Nothing dramatic, just a small spark and a dead charger. But it could have been worse. Now I unplug everything overnight. Phone gets charged during the day when I'm out of the cabin. Number 10. Never rearrange the furniture. This sounds silly, but I see older cruisers do this constantly. They want the chair closer to the window, the table moved over by the bed, the suitcase rack out of the way. Don't do it. Cruise cabin furniture is often heavier than it looks and is sometimes secured to the floor in ways that aren't visible. Trying to drag a chair across the carpet is how shoulders get hurt and backs go out on day 1. Ask the cabin steward. They'll move anything you need. That's literally part of their job. I want to mention something that happened to a friend of mine on a Celebrity Edge sailing last year. She's 71, wonderful traveler. She'd never sailed Celebrity before. She got into her cabin, decided the bed was positioned wrong, and tried to push the entire bed frame about 6 inches toward the window so she could see the ocean while lying down. The bed was on rollers, but stiff rollers. She wrenched her shoulder so badly she needed the ship's medical center, which on Celebrity, by the way, will run you a real bill even with insurance. $280 for a sling and some painkillers. For trying to move a bed. Don't do it. Ask for help. Number 11. Don't use the bathroom at night without turning on a light. I know we all try to be quiet for our spouse, but navigating to the bathroom in the dark, in a cabin layout you've only known for a day or two, with a slight ship sway, that is a fall waiting to happen. I keep a small motion sensor nightlight in my toiletry bag. Plug it into the outlet by the bathroom door. Gives me just enough light to see where I'm going without waking up my husband. Best $10 purchase I've made for cruising. And one more thing. The bathroom door on most cabins is heavier than you'd expect and tends to swing closed on its own. Don't let it lock behind you. I always wedge a small folded towel at the base when I go in at night. Silly little habit. Saved me once when the lock jammed. Number 12. Never leave valuables visible when housekeeping comes. Again, not because I distrust housekeeping. I trust them. But the rule of every hotel and every cruise applies. Don't tempt anyone. Don't make anyone's job awkward. Tuck your wallet, your jewelry, your medications into the safe or a drawer before housekeeping arrives. Same goes for prescription bottles. Leaving them on the bathroom counter or the nightstand is just bad practice. Inside the safe, every time. Number 13. Don't use the provided robes and slippers if you have sensitive skin. The detergents and fabric softeners used by cruise laundries are industrial strength. For older skin, which is thinner and more reactive, this can cause itching, rashes, or worse, especially in the Caribbean heat. Bring your own lightweight robe. Bring your own slippers. Use the provided ones only if you've tested them and your skin doesn't react. And if you do break out in a rash mid-cruise, the medical center will charge you to confirm what you already know. Avoid the whole thing by bringing your own. Number 14. Never skip the life jacket check. I'm going to be blunt. Most older cruisers do not check the life jackets in their cabin. They glance at them and move on. Open the closet on day one. Pull out a life jacket. Try it on. Make sure it fits over your body. If it doesn't, and yes, this does happen, especially for fuller-figured travelers, request a larger size immediately. The steward will get you one. But you don't want to discover the standard jacket doesn't fit during an actual emergency. This one matters. Please do it. Number 15. Don't store your suitcases under the bed if you have back issues. The space under cruise cabin beds is designed for suitcase storage. Yes, but retrieving suitcases from under the bed requires bending and pulling at an awkward angle. If you have any history of back problems, and at 60 plus most of us do, ask the steward to take your suitcases away entirely. They'll store them in a crew area and bring them back the night before disembarkation. Costs nothing, saves your back. Number 16. Never assume your cabin is quiet until you've slept in it. This is the one I want you to take most seriously. Cruise cabins have wildly different noise profiles depending on what's above, below, and next to them. If you sleep in the cabin on the first night and notice noise, engine vibration, footsteps, music from a club, kitchen clatter from below, go to guest services first thing in the morning and ask politely about a cabin change. If the ship has any availability, and on most sailings they do, they will move you, but only if you ask. Don't suffer in silence for 7 nights. I made that mistake on a Carnival Vista cruise. 6 sleepless nights. Never again. And here's the thing nobody tells you. The crew expects this request. On a typical 7-night sailing, anywhere from 10 to 20 cabin changes happen in the first 48 hours. You're not being difficult. You're being a normal passenger. Ask. Be kind about it. They'll help. Number 17, and this one genuinely shocked me. Don't use the cabin air conditioning fan setting overnight if you have any respiratory sensitivity. The fans on cruise ship HVAC systems can circulate dust, fragrance residue from the previous occupants, and in some cases, mold spores. I had genuinely no idea this was a real issue until a respiratory therapist on one of my cruises mentioned it to me at dinner. Her recommendation, and I followed it ever since, set the cabin to a comfortable temperature and let the AC cycle naturally. Don't run the fan continuously overnight. The difference in how I felt waking up on a Princess Caribbean princess sailing after switching to this method was honestly remarkable. Less throat dryness, less morning congestion, more rested. I have to be honest, 3 years ago I would have rolled my eyes at this advice. But after trying it both ways across multiple cruises, the difference is real, and it costs nothing to try. If you have asthma, allergies, or any kind of respiratory issue, this is worth at least testing on your next sailing. So those are the 17. Some are small, some are critical. All of them I genuinely wish someone had told me before my first cruise after 60. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these have you been doing without realizing it was a problem? Drop the number in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll respond to as many as I can. Next week, I'm publishing a video about 13 things I think travelers over 65 should never pack on a cruise, and what to bring instead. And there are a few in there that almost everyone gets wrong. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the moment.